Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video we're going to be talking about a couple of tips and tricks that you can use for audio and things that we're sort of also going to talk about what I've done this morning since not waking up. But first, breakfast, coffee, and the vlog edit, which will probably do some talking bits in, but I need to do a little bit of work. And yeah, today's going to be interesting, and it also might mean that tomorrow's video or yesterday's video was a little bit late because I've got my amazing part-time at 2 and it's currently 11:17 and I've got so many things I've got to do still, so let's get to it. So just before we talk about some things I think you should invest in and sort of audio and everything I did in bed this morning, I want to sort of talk about my workflow and how I go about doing making videos roughly, because I haven't really talked about it, I don't think. So the first thing that I try and work on when I have a video that is very time-lapse related, I try and make sure I get all those processed and ready to go, so I've got all the pieces of the video ready, and then I go into the edit, then I do the color correction and the color grading, which I didn't talk about in yesterday's video, but I do actually do color correction when it's needed, but I try and get it as close to what I want in camera as possible, so it just takes less work and then I can get it out turnaround time better, and as I've talked about in previous videos. So basically the time-lapse workflow basically consists of importing all of your footage from your card into the folder, which I try and break up each time-lapse into a folder, so it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending how many time-lapses I actually shot that day. And then we just go into the time-lapse work, or the LR time-lapse workflow, which just allows you and basically sets keyframes that you are going to then edit in Lightroom to get your look that you're looking for. If there's an exposure change, it will add different keyframes. And then after that, I then export those images from Lightroom into an image sequence that I then import into Premiere. And then from there we start the basic edit, which is basically just me creating the film, which you've seen over and over and over times. Check out any of the other vlogs if you are curious in that workflow and that editing workflow. So I'm going to get that done, and then we're going to have a little chat, probably on the way down to work, if not before I leave, to what I feel you should invest in and some of the time, because it's not always just about gear. Sometimes it's about, you know, courses and things like that, but we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth about that a little bit later. Apologies if this video is a bit more talking head-ish and or that kind of thing, but I don't have a lot of time today to create a more cooler piece with time lapses and stuff like that, but also I wanted to not miss an upload, and also I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some stuff. So we are gonna get these time lapses done and ready for yesterday's video, and I'll see you guys a little bit later on. So ladies and gentlemen, we just got the majority of the edit done now. So let's talk about what you should actually invest in. Let me just set this up, I'll be a second. Awesome, right, so what do you exactly, just apologies for the work clothes, they need to dry and that's where they have to go to dry, but yes, anyway, so what you should actually invest in audio. Now, everyone glorifies investing in gear. Now, I think there is a point in the respect to kind of investing in gear, and I think that's always better, but it's also about knowing how to use that gear to create what you actually want to create and be a videographer in that respect. So, I have invested in the past in a course called Full-Time Filmmaker. Now, this course is made by Parker Welbeck, I want to say his name is off the top of my head, but yeah, so I'll link it in the description down below, those who are curious, and he basically goes over a lot of different techniques and a lot of different things. So he goes over basic stuff like camera settings, what ISO does, what aperture does, what shutter speed does, what audio you should use sort of, and then what glide cam techniques you should use, what gear you should buy, what camera you should use, etc, 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 etc. And then he goes into detail about his editing workflow, goes over job shadows and things like that. It's really, really good. It is a little bit on the pricier side for the course, but you also get the benefits of Adobe's discount and things like that. This is not Parker, for obvious reasons, hasn't asked me to make this video talking about it, but I would recommend it personally, as I am someone who has actually used it and is kind of helping the benefits from that. Now, another thing that I was watching this morning was Brendan Bideway, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is a audio technician or audio guy for when it comes to filmmaking, and he has made and is in the process of continuing to make and has made a course that I've known about for a little while, which goes into audio and things like that. Now, I'm really debating about whether I should buy that course, because it's gonna allow me to enhance some of the audio stuff that I think that will allow me to do better audio work, and also just allow me to produce better content, because people, I think, in most cases, they neglect their audio quite a lot in the respect to they don't think about it enough, or they don't think about getting clean, crisp audio, and it is 50 or more % of the experience that you're giving your audience when you make YouTube or etc. content. So just keep that in mind when you are thinking about it. And those of you who are on the Scott McKenna Challenge, I would recommend both of these courses. I haven't obviously done the audio course yet, but I've watched the webinar, and there were some interesting things that we're going to be trying to add in, but I want to sort of get the course first and then go from there. And I'm also going to try and mess around with it, but I'll feel more confident with it when I have actually got the course done and that kind of thing. So, and just a little tip, if you tune into both of their webinars, so Parker's or Brandon Bideway's, you can get a little discount, because both of them run a promotion at the end of their webinar for the first ending 20 minutes. The webinars are about an hour, so you get a lot of value and a lot of content from that, and a lot of information. And if you then end up want to actually purchase their course, you can, and you just go down into their promo link, which will basically get you a extra discount on the rate. I don't want to go into details on what the percentage is, because I don't actually know, but yeah, I'll link them both in the description down below if I can find links. If not, just Google them and I'm sure you'll be able to find them. But I'd recommend Parker's, and when and if we get Brandon's, I'll be talking about that as well, because I do want to enhance my audio a little bit more. And apologies that this video was a little bit more kind of talking head-esque in the respect to just me talking to camera, but as I said before, I had a little bit push on time, and wasn't too much eventful stuff happening today, so I thought I would briefly talk about how I think you should invest your money that you'll either be earning through a full-time, part-time job when you spare income, and it isn't always necessarily in gear. Now, everyone, as I said, does get really excited about gear, and gear is awesome to talk about, and it's also really exciting to get and see that improvement in your quality. But keep in mind, a video that I'm thinking of doing probably next week is going to be just taking what you have and shooting with what you have and making cinematic footage with that, or good footage, or exciting, engaging content in that respect. So unfortunately, that is going to wrap up today's video, guys. I wanted to just briefly talk about those things today, and we'll be doing a little bit more in depth and a little bit more of a different style video tomorrow. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video and you would like to see more like it, then make sure to be subscribed to the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a brand new piece of content. And leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you're new and watching on Facebook, then make sure to like the page so you don't miss any of the time lapses, photos, or these videos as well that we're going to be uploading in the coming days and months. So I'll see you guys soon. And yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, night, day, morning, whatever it is for you. See you guys soon.